Well, hello there. I am Professor Treename, and this is Pokemon Biology 101. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of evolutionary biology. In this lesson, we will discuss one of the most iconic Pokemon lineages, Pichu, Pikachu, and Raichu. First, let's define what evolutionary biology is. It's the study of how life evolves, how organisms adapt, acquire traits, and interact with their environments to enhance survival and reproduction. In essence, it's how biodiversity unfolds across generations. In this lecture, we will be discussing the origins of Pichu, Pikachu, and Raichu, and hypothesize their evolutionary journey, adaptations, and ecological roles. I don't know about you, but that sounds downright electrifying. The Pichu, Pikachu, Raichu lineage showcases an extraordinary evolutionary progression. Starting with Pichu, the juvenile form, these creatures grow into Pikachu, the intermediate stage, and finally evolve into Raichu, their most advanced form. Each stage in their evolution offers unique traits. Pichu struggles to control its electric power, Pikachu achieves balance and agility, while Raichu optimizes energy storage and power output. What might this mean in an ecological context? We'll break it all down. To truly understand the Pichu, Pikachu, Raichu lineage, we need to go back in time, way back, to where their evolutionary story began. Their ancestors likely started out as small nocturnal rodents. These creatures were perfectly adapted to surviving in the dark, relying on electrical abilities that began as rudimentary tools, perhaps to ward off predators or communicate when visibility was low. Over time, this ability became more than just survival. It became an advantage. These electrical traits were refined through generations, playing a key role in hunting, social interactions, and even navigating their environments. Fast forward a few million years, and we see the emergence of Pichu's predecessors. These creatures retained juvenile-like features, an evolutionary strategy known as neoteny. By extending their developmental periods, they remained adaptable to changing environments and reduced competition with fully mature forms. The arrival of Pikachu marked a significant shift in this lineage. Pikachu represents a balance between energy efficiency and adaptability, with its electrical abilities becoming a central part of its survival strategy. And then there's Raichu, the apex of this evolutionary line. With advanced electrical storage and output capabilities, Raichu is built for more demanding ecological roles, thriving in environments where its power and resilience give it the edge. To understand the evolutionary history of Pichu, Pikachu, and Raichu, we need to examine their place in a larger family tree, a hypothetical family called Electrodididdae. This family includes some of the most electrically adept Pokémon in the world. At the root of this lineage, we have a nocturnal rodent with basic electrical organs, equipped with primitive electrocytes. These specialized cells could generate small electrical charges, useful for defense or communication. Over millions of years, these simple cells evolved into the advanced electrical sacs we see in Pikachu and Raichu today. The family Electrodididdae eventually split into two primary branches. On one side, we see species like Plusle and Minun, highly social Pokémon that rely on cooperation and low-energy electrical discharges. These Pokémon are team players, using their electrical abilities to strengthen bonds and communicate effectively in groups. They're nature's cheerleaders, quite literally, sparking teamwork. But Branch B took a very different path. This line, leading to Pichu, Pikachu, and Raichu, focused on individual survival through scalable energy storage and precise electrical discharges. They're built for power and adaptability. Think of them as the lone wolves of the electric Pokémon world, less reliant on group dynamics and more focused on maximizing their own capabilities. Their evolutionary strategy emphasizes strength, efficiency, and resilience in a wide range of environments. This divergence demonstrates an important principle in evolutionary biology, how species with shared ancestry can adapt in vastly different ways, all depending on their ecological needs and survival pressures. Now that we've explored their evolutionary history and taxonomy, let's dive into the fascinating anatomy, behaviors, and ecological roles of Pichu, Pikachu, and Raichu. Each stage of this lineage tells a story of adaptation and survival. Let's start with Pichu, the smallest and most vulnerable of the three. Its tiny body and large ears enhance agility and hearing, essential traits for staying alert in dangerous environments. But its underdeveloped electrical sacs make it prone to accidental discharges. While these discharges aren't efficient, they can deter predators, an effective defense mechanism for this little Pokémon. Next, Pikachu. Its robust electrical sacs, located in its cheeks, allow it to store and release significant amounts of energy. The lightning bolt-shaped tail? It's more than decoration, it's a signaling tool and a grounding mechanism for controlled discharges. These adaptations make Pikachu a model of energy efficiency and versatility, perfect for life in both urban and wild environments. Then there's Raichu, the powerhouse of this lineage. Larger and more robust, Raichu's enhanced electrical capacity is supported by its long tail, which acts as a stabilizer and grounding structure. And its Alolan form? A whole new level of adaptation with psychic abilities, likely driven by its tropical diet and environment. Each evolutionary stage occupies a distinct ecological niche, perfectly tailored to its adaptations. Pichu thrives in sheltered environments like forests and burrows, relying on its small size and social behaviors for protection. Pikachu is the versatile middle child, found in grasslands and even urban areas, thanks to its adaptability and energy efficiency. Raichu dominates open spaces and competitive territories, where its size and power give it an edge in both predation and defense. Behavioral shifts mirror these physical adaptations at every stage. Highly social, Pichu relies on group behaviors for learning and protection, staying close to its kind for safety. Pikachu showcases advanced problem-solving skills and forms strong bonds, not just with other Pikachu but with other species too. That's what makes it such a favorite among Pokémon trainers. Raichu's behavior becomes more territorial and dominant. Its enhanced power isn't just for show, it's a key survival tool in competitive ecosystems. The Pichu-Pikachu-Raichu lineage thrives through its ability to adapt and interact with its environment. Their electrical discharges serve as versatile tools for deterring predators, incapacitating prey, and even communicating within their ecosystems. We've covered their evolutionary history, ecological roles, and behaviors, but now it's time to look under the hood at the incredible anatomy and physiology that power the Pichu-Pikachu-Raichu lineage. The hallmark of this lineage is its specialized electrical system. Let's break it down. Electrical sacs. These are located in the cheeks and house specialized cells called electrocytes. These cells generate electrical charges through ion exchange, a process inspired by real-world electric eels and rays. Tail. The tail acts as both a conductor and a stabilizer, especially in Raichu. During high-voltage discharges, the tail grounds excess energy, preventing dangerous overloads. Large ears. The ears? Not just for hearing, they detect electrical fields and environmental vibrations, helping these Pokémon navigate their surroundings and evade predators. For these abilities to work in the real world, they'd need some fascinating adaptations. Insulation. To avoid accidental self-electrocution, their nerves would be wrapped in thick myelin sheaths, ensuring electrical currents stay on the right path. Efficient metabolism. Generating and storing electricity requires a lot of energy, so their metabolic rates must be sky-high. Think of Pikachu as an electrical powerhouse that's always recharging. Heat dissipation. Electrical discharges generate heat, so these Pokémon likely have built-in cooling systems like vascular structures in their ears or tails to dissipate excess heat. Their electrical abilities are rooted in their genetics, both structural and regulatory genes working together to make these adaptations possible. Regulatory genes likely control when and how electrocytes activate, ensuring precise discharges during both defensive and offensive actions. Structural genes are responsible for the development of their iconic cheek sacs and associated anatomy. Over millions of years, gene mutations shaped the Pichu-Pikachu-Raichu lineage into the electrically adept species we know today. Early mutations. These likely occurred in ion channels, allowing primitive electrical discharges. Think of these as the building blocks of bioelectricity. Later mutations. Enhanced storage capacity and controlled discharges came later, giving Pikachu and Raichu their signature moves. Structural adaptations. Gene duplications led to specialized cheek sacs, transforming rudimentary electrical abilities into powerful biological tools. The Pichu-Pikachu-Raichu lineage isn't just about electricity, they're also incredibly intelligent and socially complex. Let's dive into their theories of origin, reproduction, and evolutionary adaptations. One fascinating theory about this lineage's electrical abilities is interspecies breeding. What if their electrocytes, those cells responsible for generating electricity, originated from hybridization with aquatic electric-capable Pokémon like Chinchou or Tynamo? This genetic framework could have been introduced through hybridization and refined by natural selection, enabling the lineage to adapt these abilities for terrestrial survival. When it comes to reproduction, the Pichu Pikachu Raichu lineage likely follows K-selected strategies, focusing on quality over quantity. Pichu, as the juvenile stage, requires parental or group support to survive. These creatures are social learners, relying on their community for safety and skill development. As Pikachu and Raichu, they invest heavily in their young, teaching them to harness their electrical abilities while ensuring their protection from predators. The electrical traits of this lineage showcase a textbook example of convergent evolution. This occurs when unrelated species develop similar traits to adapt to analogous environmental pressures. For example, Pikachu's electrical abilities are strikingly similar to Electric's and even Voltorb's. These adaptations likely evolved to meet the same challenges, deterring predators, incapacitating prey, or communicating in environments with low visibility. Now let's talk about divergent evolution. This occurs when species evolve unique traits in response to different environmental pressures. Raichu's tail grounding mechanism is a perfect example. It's an adaptation that allows it to safely release high-voltage discharges, essential in competitive habitats. Meanwhile, Alolan Raichu's psychic abilities likely emerged from geographic isolation and a tropical diet, highlighting the profound impact of environment on evolutionary paths. As we wrap up, let's reflect on the incredible journey of the Pichu Pikachu Raichu lineage, a shining example of how organisms adapt and evolve across developmental stages. From Pichu's vulnerable, socially reliant beginnings, to Pikachu's versatile adaptability and Raichu's dominance in competitive ecosystems, this lineage showcases the incremental power of adaptation. Key traits like electrical abilities and social intelligence highlight the dynamic interplay of genetic evolution, environmental pressures, and ecological roles. This progression mirrors real-world examples of organisms evolving stage-specific traits to maximize survival and reproductive success. While we've explored their evolution, some questions remain unanswered, and they spark exciting avenues for speculation. How exactly did the Alolan Raichu develop psychic abilities? Could it be tied to a unique tropical diet, perhaps rich in minerals or bioactive compounds? Might future evolution lead to even more groundbreaking traits like magnetism or bioluminescence? Imagine a glowing Pikachu lighting up the night. And what about the genetic mechanisms behind their precise electrical control? Understanding these could reveal parallels to real-world analogs like electric eels or rays. By merging the principles of biology with imaginative speculation, we've painted a rich narrative of adaptation and survival for this iconic lineage. But now, it's your turn. What do you think about these open questions? Could Raichu's abilities evolve even further? Drop your theories and ideas in the comments, I'd love to hear them. And if you want me to make another video like this one, let me know which Pokémon you'd like to see next in the comments. Please like and subscribe.